Chapter 6087. When he returned to Classic Mansion. Steve was in a much better mood than when he arrived. When he came here, he was worried all the way. He didn't know what kind of medicine Charlie was selling in his good. When he went back, everything cleared up and he no longer had to worry about the mismatched father and son in the Hogwarts family. They need to wait for the video of them at sea to be released before they can return home. Charlie also saw that he was in a much better mood, so he asked with a smile. "Steve, I sold the most important thing as soon as you landed in Aurus Hill. You must be very happy, right?" Steve said with a smile, "To tell you the truth, I was still worried before I came here. If I couldn't find anything and went back in despair, I would definitely be ridiculed secretly. Now it's okay. After you release the video, no one can complain. I didn't handle the matter well, and I only blame the Hogwarts family for delaying the opportunity. After all, it's been so long, and it's their own fault that people were transferred to the Middle East." As he said that, Steve was a little worried again. Said, "I just don't know if my father will let me go to the Middle East to find them again." Charlie smiled and said, "In my opinion, it is impossible for your father to arrange for you to go to the Middle East again. That place is now its chaos, and people who enter there will be lost. If you go there to look for someone, whether or not they can be found will be hard to guarantee. It's hard to guarantee your own safety. I guess this matter will be over by then." Steve bowed his hands to Charlie and said with a smile, "Then let Mr. Wade give me some good advice." When the four of them returned to Classic Mansion, Steve's men did not notice anything unusual. Since he had to stay in Aurus Hill for about 10 days when he returned to Classic Mansion, Charlie asked him to go back to the hotel to rest first. Steve flew to Aurus Hill for more than 10 hours, and after getting off the plane, he went to Classic Mansion and the Yangtze River. The dog farm was indeed a little exhausted, so he bid farewell to Charlie and left Classic Mansion. The security personnel of the motorcade breathed a sigh of relief and drove him directly to the hotel where he was staying. After Steve left, Charlie said to Orville, "Inform Irvin and ask him to inform the younger brother in Aurus Hill to pay more attention to the actions of these men in Aurus Hill. If there are any special situations, report to me as soon as possible." "No problem, Master Wade." Orville agreed quickly. Charlie looked at the time. It was only around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. He planned to go to the Champsellers' villa on the mountainside to see if Nanako's control of Chi had improved. He was planning to continue with Orville and Isaac. But his cell phone suddenly received a call from Melba's father, Pollard. So Charlie answered the phone and asked politely, "Hello, Uncle." Pollard smiled on the other end of the phone and asked, "Charlie, I heard your father-in-law saying that you returned to Aurus Hill?" "Yes." Charlie smiled and said, "I just came back. Do you have anything to do with me, Uncle?" Pollard chuckled and said shyly, "I do have something that I want to talk to you about in person. But you usually have a lot of things to do, so I don't know if you have time?" Charlie said without hesitation, "Yes, when is convenient for you, give me your address and I will find you." Charlie has always respected Pollard, not only because he has a good character, but also has real talents and learning, and because he and his mother were classmates and were old friends in the true sense. Pollard said hurriedly, "I just came out of the university. Today is the weekend and there are no classes in the school. Why don't you give me your address and I will come find you?" Charlie thought about it. It was now past 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Pollard must have already had lunch. There were still a few hours before dinner time. It was really not suitable for him to come to Classic Mansion to talk about things, considering that Pollard had lived in the United States for many years. He must have the habit of drinking coffee in the afternoon. So he then said, "Okay, Uncle, there is a Starbucks not far south of the university. How about we go there and have a cup of coffee?" "Great," Pollard said with a smile. "I was just thinking about you giving me an address. I'm going to buy a cup of coffee and then go find you. In that case, let's meet at the coffee shop. I'm close. I'll order something for you in advance." Charlie smiled and said, "Would you like a glass of iced Americano? I'll go over now." "Okay, let's see you later." Charlie didn't know what Pollard suddenly wanted to do with him. But since the other party wanted to meet and chat with him, he couldn't ask everything on the phone. But fortunately, it didn't sound like there was anything hard, which made him feel more at ease. Afterward, he greeted Orville and Isaac and went to Starbucks to meet Pollard. More than 20 minutes later, Charlie arrived at the Starbucks where he had made an appointment. Pollard had already found a seat by the window and sat down. Seeing Charlie come in, he quickly stood up, adjusted his suit, and waved to Charlie shyly. "Charlie, here."